Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Outlandish podcast, A View from the Ridge. I'm Heather. Jodi's here. Tracy and Julie. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How's everyone today?
Good.
Great.
I love our Sunday ritual.
This is fun.
And thank you for all of the comments that we're getting on our podcast. We love it when you guys chime in too, and that you let us know what you're thinking, or you have like, no, Heather, you're completely wrong. We love that too, all within respect, of course. Be respectful. We'll do it right back to you. But we definitely want to take a deep dive into the episode. It's the third episode of the final and last season and eighth season of Outlander. And so there's a lot here, and we're going to try and do our best to get to everything. And I think we should definitely end with the blue light.
Absolutely.
Okay. Excellent. I think my glasses are reflecting Claire's magic right now.
Yes. or my blue sweater, which I may have worn intentionally.
Oh, there you go. All right. So we'll definitely get to that. And we got to talk about another amazing romantic scene with Jamie and Claire. But so let's start with the William storyline as he continues to kind of do a search for his cousin. What are your initial thoughts on that one?
So, I mean, he's clearly not dead, the cousin, right? I mean, I think the question for me, and maybe it's something that you all know from the books, is did he desert? Is he a deserter? Did he not want to be a part of the British Army anymore? And is that why he hasn't returned to his family? Because he can't? Or did he escape? And if he escaped, why didn't he return to his family? So I feel like there's some questions around Ben's disappearance. Like, why did he leave, or where did he go to?
Now, Tracy, you say that you think this is clearly that he's not dead. And why do you say that? Because I felt like this episode, if anything else, kind of made it seem like he was dead.
Oh, okay. Like maybe that he's in another grave. And
yeah, because I'm back in the
possible.
day, they weren't very good about putting people where they belonged, especially in times of war. And then I felt when he later goes and Amaranthus, right? And she opens the door. Yeah. And sees the figure there because he was looking for it and didn't find it. He had thoughts that Ben was still alive, but then seeing it there going, oh, well, he left it behind. So that could have been his. For me, that kind of said like, maybe he is dead and that William's just looking for a ghost.
See, so I didn't pick this up in the books, but I feel like the way that the actress who's playing Amaranthus, I feel like she's playing him a little bit, like she's doing a little bit of honeypotting in a way. And I didn't catch that in the books. Like what I caught was, what I thought was real attraction between the two of them. And even if she is honeypotting him, there could still be real attraction between her and William. But I am wondering, is she trying to get close to the Greys so she can get some type of intelligence and I literally did not catch that at all from the books. It's only from the way that the actress playing Amaranthus is approaching the role.
Well, when she said that her father was like a bookmaker or, had like a bookshop, it made me think of Fergus. And, she could be on the colony side, not the British. And so she could be a spy. I mean, her dad very well could be part of that whole network. And then you've got Percy looking for Fergus.
Right.
And he's also a book, he's got like a print shop, another person with a print shop. Like all of these printers are somehow, have like a double, they're printing, but they're also doing things that are, what's the word?
Right. They have a business that's a front.
That's a front for something that's revolutionary. And so I don't necessarily think that she's above board. I don't believe her. I don't know how that ties to Ben, but she's certainly trying to get William interested in her. I mean, she gave him that vest. She kissed him.
She's like, here's my dead husband's vest. Wear it well.
I will kiss you. Yeah, I mean, they do only have 10 episodes, so they're rapidly going through storylines. So if you wanted a slow, like, let's get to know you, that's not happening this season. They got to get right to the romance. We have to just realize that there's two things that are happening here. Like, we've got characters popping up, and they're popping up for a reason. The question is, do you trust that reason? You know, Percy Beecham shows up again. Is it to, you know, cause a stir? Yes, it is. Amaranthus shows up. It's definitely to cause some drama. So, but I think they all need to be careful about trusting the actual reason that they say they're there.
Right. Did anyone else get any vibes from Amaranthus? Like, I kind of watched her and thought her face and her eyes were like Malva, like a little bit. Like, I kind of was like, ooh, she's got the same look. And
totally, I agree with you.
Devious. She's very devious.
Like I'm pretending to be this sort of sorrowful widow. Like, oh, look at me, I'm left behind with a child that I have to raise by myself.
Right. Yeah. But in the end, I wound up loving Malva. So I'm like wondering, taking us down this path of, ooh, is she deceitful? Is she good? Is she bad? How are we going to end this? Is she going to come out in a good way or not so much in a good way?
Hard to know.
A book reader, so I kind of am like waiting to see how they spin this.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, and Heather, you just brought this up is, you know, I've seen some comments online like, hey, it's the last season. Why are you introducing these random storylines? None of these storylines are random. Like, if you're not figuring that out while you're watching this, then there's something wrong with you.
So true.
Because they're not. I mean, there are very few episodes left. Like, even, you know, like when, well, we'll get to that with the blue light, but even just like that family coming for help, it's like, that wasn't random, right? So, but we'll get to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone that is in this season is there for a reason.
Right.
Exactly. I was reading something about the Cunningham storyline with Jamie, in the sense that was very behind the scenes and then kind of like boom, 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 and ramped up in the books. Whereas they don't have the luxury to be able to do that now. It's like, it's in your face. Here's the story with Jamie confronting him. So, are we good with William and John before we move on?
I think so. Yeah. And I from the perspective of the speed, because I was asking my husband's sort of my like non-book reader, also non-crazy Outlander fan. So he's like my unbiased opinion. And I asked him, I said, how do you think this is too rushed? And he goes, actually, no, I don't think so. He's like, it's exciting. So
yeah, sometimes I think I've watched, because I watched the whole thing again, and some of the episodes move very slow. Which we like, because we're like, make it last forever. But I could see that this one's very rapid fire and full of action. So that would please people that aren't necessarily, you know, true fans. All right. So on to the Cunningham story. And we start with two guys talking to Fanny in the very beginning. And I love how she says those guys are soldiers because they talk just like people in the brothel. And then Brianna just kind of like blows it off. And I'm like, that's important information to bring back to everyone. But I mean, I guess she does, because Jamie goes to talk to Cunningham about the guys, right?
Well, when Jamie says, you know, like those men, your son's, you know, friends, you know, had words with her. So Brianna certainly went back and told people, and she wanted to say something to them, but Fanny didn't want to engage. Right. So that was very interesting. I mean, they're really kind of laid that out very quickly. And I think very easily for people to see that Cunningham is a loyalist and he's not, you know, necessarily done with the, you know, army and all of that. And obviously it comes to fruition in that scene where Jamie confronts him and, you know, finds the, you know, the decoder and the gun, and knows that he's like raising this militia on his land. Yeah.
My immediate thought when I saw that scene where Jamie goes to talk to him and reads what's it called, Abies Fraseri, right? I was wondering why that was the name of the episode. And then he's reading it, and then he goes and he decodes everything and finds everything. I was like, okay, so note to self: next time you go to an escape room, bring Jamie Fraser. Right? He was like so good.
Right. He's got the decoder ring. Tracy and I were talking about this before we started, that, you know, the interesting arc of Jamie's character here is that the younger version of Jamie would have run Cunningham through with a sword, or would have been like pistols at dawn tomorrow. Like it would have been like a scene from Hamilton. So the fact that he has an intense response, but a measured response sort of shows his growth as a landowner and trying to understand all the pieces before he engages.
Yeah. But I actually think that is a problem. You know, like I almost wanted Jamie Fraser to handle things physically in order to stop any threat to his family. But, you know, you've right.
got Cunningham saying, you've been gone a long time. You'd be surprised how many people are on my side. Yeah. So, you know, Jamie's got to consider that. I mean, he's got to really get his hands around what's been going on there before he makes a decision. Because let's say he did kill Cunningham. And what if 90% of the people on the ridge now are in this militia and Jamie's in the minority? I mean, it's his land, but there's more people. So,
and we did get another Ben Cleveland scene too. So
yeah,
I don't like him.
That was really interesting because, you know, here he is. And Jamie's realizing that even though he doesn't like his methods and he thinks he's kind of an idiot, he was right about Cunningham and he knows kind of what's up. And, you know, and you've got, you know, that the other scene too, where Cunningham's telling Jamie, like, come with me, join me. Jamie knows who wins this war.
Yeah.
And he knows it's not them, right? But he can't tell him that.
Yeah. It's that micro macro, because I think also, you know, people came to the old house with, you know, torches and pitchforks, right? So they don't want to repeat of, you know, we're being taken from our home at gunpoint in the middle of the night. Yeah. So, you know, I think he does have that in the back of his mind.
Yeah. I relate the Ben Cleveland character a little bit to Dougal Mackenzie in the sense that you can understand the passion and the method that he wants to go. And so it's just extreme. You know what I mean? Like we struggled with Dougal because he, you know, was against Jamie and Claire sometimes, but he had good intentions. He wanted, you know, he was a Jacobite.
Wanted to free Scotland.
Right.
I mean,
did you notice though? It was a little bit strange. Like Brianna and Roger, you know, go to Georgia on Lord John Grey's request, and they're like, "Oh yeah, and we'll smuggle some guns." And then there's Ben Cleveland that's like, "Oh, I got these guns." It's like straight second.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, but there's definitely more to come. I'm wondering too, as that scene was unraveling when Jamie was finding all these things out about Cunningham, how the mother is going to play into it, how Mrs. Cunningham, who seems to have a nice relationship with Claire, all of a sudden, will that affect things, you know, because he seems to really take care of his mother.
Yeah.
More to come on that. All right. So there was one scene that will kind of get us into the Jamie and Claire relationship, obviously, and some of the scenes between the two of them alone. But there was one scene before we get to that about where Claire and Brianna were having a moment, and Claire reveals to Brianna about what happened with Lord John Grey. And
you didn't sleep together.
Ooh, I mean, that might have been the funniest part of the episode. And I love when they have those moments that feel so modern in the 1700s. Like they could have been having that conversation in 1960, or, I mean, it was just really funny.
Yeah.
I loved it.
How do you think they got through that scene? I started dying to see the behind the scenes of that. Yes, because you can see that genuinely, I think they're giggling because it's just so humorous. And I think that was pretty real, but I thought it was great.
Can I tell you that I didn't love it? It's funny. Like because I felt like when Claire told her that they were married, right? She kind of like, I felt like Brianna's reaction wasn't shocked enough. And then she was shocked when she said that they had slept together. But I don't know. You can watch it again and let me know. But I felt like she should have been more shocked at the fact that they were even married. And then even more shocked, obviously, that they slept together. I don't know. I felt like she should have been like, oh my God, what? It felt like Brianna left it alone for a second. And maybe she was trying to process it,
Right.
you know.
I mean, they could have added a little bit more. I mean, Claire gave explanation, you know, like we thought it was the only way to keep me safe, you know, was for him to marry me. I mean, they could have maybe expanded that a little bit more to show like we were both really grieving. I mean, it was this awful moment.
Your father was dead.
I mean, as viewers, we know all of that, but you're right. Brianna doesn't. Like, she's been gone for however long, you know, and
she seemed very satisfied with the input. Yeah. And I was like, wait, why aren't you asking 10 million questions? She just, I don't know. I guess I just wanted more
time, and
it's for time. And I guess the viewers all know that, right? It's just Brianna that's being caught up, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I don't like to criticize, but I feel like Brianna's character is lacking a little bit of emotional depth. Like when they came back to the ridge at the very end of the first episode, like there's a Jamie and Brianna are embracing, and he's sort of comforting her as if she were sobbing. And when she like comes up from the hug, she's just kind of like got this big grin on her face. I don't know. I feel like she's not playing her with as much depth as I would like her to be.
Yeah, completely agree with, and trying to be respectful, obviously. Because I love the character, and you know, obviously there are people way more talented than we are, and the story writers know where they're going with this, so they wouldn't go and say, "Okay, print," if they didn't love it. But like, I just felt like that scene. I wanted more. You know. I just wanted
I really just like took it for what it was. I just thought it was like the humor that we needed in this episode. Yeah. Like I thought it was really cute. I thought it was a nice scene, just mother-daughter, you know, kind of, you know, being vulnerable and sharing some information, and in a very funny way. I mean,
I wish I could just take it for what it was, because I ruined it for myself.
And their facial expressions were fantastic. I mean, I thought Claire did such a good job, like looking over at Brianna and kind of smirking, like, "Oh, I'm going to drop a bomb on you," and like, funny. But I thought their facial expressions were great.
And you know what? We're all moms.
Facial expressions throughout this whole episode.
The first 15,
amazing.
I need to go watch the first 15 minutes of this episode again and again and again, because it was vintage Outlander. It was vintage Jamie and Claire. It was, let's show the tempestuous side of the relationship between the two of them. Let's show the tempestuous side of like their sexual relationship.
It was like season 1, like that one line where he's like, "You're just going to go do what you want to do." Right. And I'm like, this is like flashbacks. I feel like we've seen this before.
Yes. No, we absolutely have. And that was also written all over Claire's face. Like, here we go again, dude, with your jealousy and
I'm thinking, like, does he not realize she's given up indoor plumbing, air conditioning, being a surgeon, to live in the 1700s with you? Like, if you don't get it by now, dude, like, you have nothing to be jealous of.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
I think he gets caught up in it. He doesn't remember that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's easy for us to forget that kind of stuff too. Like, she doesn't need to be there. You know, but she's got 1900s mentality that she's applying to a different time. So women are treated differently. I was reminded of that when Jamie said, "I will not allow it." You know, like that's it. Like, I've spoken. That's it. You know, no one's going anywhere. No one's going on an adventure. And so Claire's like, that's not how this is going to work.
Well, how about her saying, she's like, "I don't believe they were asking for your permission."
Right.
You know,
she's like, she said they wanted your blessing, but they're going to go whether they get it or not.
Yeah. And I don't think he's like, did they not? It's like, no, they didn't. They didn't ask.
Right. Exactly. He's trying to balance, I think, you know, what control he does or doesn't have over the ridge right now because of all of these macro factors that are happening. And then within his own family, he's realizing, there are people who have free will and are going to do what they're going to do, regardless of my opinion on the matter.
Yeah. So as far as the sex scene between the two of them, that was classic Outlander for sure.
It was.
And,
It was.
you know, as much as people talk about the show and they want to say that's all it is, when those scenes come up, it just makes me laugh because I'm like, oh, here we go again. But yet that's what kind of made us all love the show and wish that we were Claire at times. So what'd you guys think of that?
Yeah. I mean, it was classic in the sense that, you know, they're fighting and the way that they always come back together is like through their physicality together and this need to be together. But it also shows, like, in my mind, like Claire's power over Jamie, is that she could tame him in a second just by bringing him to bed. Like, you know, he's so angry and he's got all these things to say. And then, like, the minute they're in bed, he's just like, he had some expressions. And I don't know if anyone else picked up on this. It's like this look of bliss that he had in the wedding scene when he like lays back in the bed or whatever. And he had the same expression here. And I'm like, that's amazing that you could, I mean, maybe that's just Sam's like acting and that's what he like thinks it looks like when you're feeling all those things. But it really kind of evoked like a season 1 feel for me. In that way, the way that like there's like all of this heated passion and then, you know, like tension and then they go to bed.
Yeah. I have things that I loved about the scene and I have things that I felt were awkward about the scene. So what I loved about the scene was, again, that sense of Claire's like, you think you have power over me. Because what does Jamie say? Oh gosh, I had it in my head and now I'm going to lose it. And now we're going to have to edit this part out. No, where he basically, okay, I got it. Where she takes off his shirt and he's like, you're very confident in yourself. She's like, yeah, I am. And here's why. And then he's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to melt like a little puppy. So I loved that like juxtaposition of he's like all brash and trying to be strong and try to pretend that she doesn't have complete control over him, especially in those moments. So I just loved the tension between the two of them. She's like, excuse me, come undo my corset. Like, stop acting like a child and just do this. But I thought the scene was beautiful. I thought the love scene was beautiful. There were some parts of it, and I don't know if it was the facial expressions. I don't know if it was just, I can't get behind the fact that like two people can't do that upright like that. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't. It like my husband says that all the time. He's like, that's not how this works. It's just really not how this works.
Well, no, it's TV lovemaking.
It's TV. Yeah. It's TV sex. I do think I want to bring in the topic of the intimacy coordinator because I do think I've only acted in musical theater in high school. I've never had to kiss anybody for work. So I do totally support the fact that these actors want to feel supported and safe in those moments. However, I think when you have two people like Sam and Kate that have worked with each other for so long, that have such a high level of comfort with each other, there were parts of that, the actual sex scene that felt really forced and staged that I did not care for.
Yeah. I felt that it was, I mean, I'll never say no to a Claire and Jamie sex scene for sure, like no matter what it is, but parts of it were super awkward for me, like their facial expressions and like all the way through the end of it. And I was like, oh, I don't love this. Like I go back to seasons 1, 2, and 3. Season 3 had for me when they're on that boat, but right before the hurricane, that scene to me is the best of all of them, even over the wedding. I love that one more than I love the wedding.
That was a turtle soup.
There's two different scenes.
It was right before the hurricane where he has like Vaseline all over him and he's going to shave. Like that's
yes.
Yes.
And that to me, that is like the best one they've ever done. And so I kind of like yearn for that kind of scene again. But that was, I think, pre-intimacy coordinator.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, and they're also playing older characters, right? It's like a different stage in their relationship. I mean, you know, in the beginning, they're in their 20s. Or
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And now they're in their 60s. And so,
I think they've done a great job of still capturing the passion and the fieriness that they bring to it. But yeah, you're not going to have the nudity, which honestly, again, like I still
need
think
it.
those scenes are racy
Yeah.
with them, you know. Jamie's got his shirt off. Claire has like her shirt down her shoulder. And so
Yeah.
you don't necessarily need that in order
Right.
to feel the sense of intimacy and the sense of sexiness.
I always forget about his back. And then he
Yeah.
takes his shirt off, and then I go, "Oh yeah, that's right. I had to do that."
and they still have to do that makeup in this season for that, like
Yeah.
a scene like that. That must take a lot of time.
But
Yeah.
if you notice, it's less. You know, it's like
Well, it's faded.
they've definitely, you know, scars over time.
Well, the scar right here too.
Yeah, from
Yes.
the branding.
Black
Yes.
Jack's brand. Yeah.
Oh my
that's there
God.
too.
Could you imagine if they left that out by accident and everyone go bananas?
Eagle-eyed fans that are like, where'd his scar go?
I think they deliberately show it to us as a reminder.
Yeah.
So, but let's not forget about really what the scene was about more than just sex. It was a conversation about love and forgiveness, and can you have forgiveness without love, and vice versa. And the part about, you know, he's being haunted by the ghost of Frank's voice. Is that what it is? Is it Frank's voice that sounds like Blackjack, or you know what's
Yeah, because to that point, I feel like the first time you hear Tobias's voice, his intonation is Blackjack's intonation. But then I feel like the second time you hear his voice, it sounds more like Frank.
Yeah.
But,
And now
Jamie wouldn't know what Frank sounds like. So
That's true.
you have to think that for Jamie, he's really, hearing it as Blackjack.
Yeah.
right.
Because if it were Claire hearing it, it could be either, right? Because she knew both men.
That's true.
But it's Sam that's, it's Jamie
We're
that's
hearing it from his
hearing
view.
the voice.
So
Right.
I'm struggling with something a little bit, and I just need to just appreciate the show, but I'm struggling with this one. How that not everyone has read that book, how they are not doing I mean, the fact that Claire hasn't read the book and she's not like feverishly gone through it even before Jamie did, and that Brianna and Roger didn't read the book. Like, how is no one reading this book? It's like the most scandalous piece. It's like a lady whistled down, release something. How are you not reading the society papers to find out everything and then talk about it? It's slowly being leaked through Jamie, and I'm just struggling a little bit with that. Does that bother you?
I felt the same way, Heather, because it's not like today where you've got so many things competing for your attention. They don't have TV. They don't have cell phones. It's like you've got this book from the future.
Right.
Like, I mean, I feel like they should have all read The Hobbit by now, or whatever, or Lord of the Rings, whatever they brought back. Like,
yeah.
If that's the only thing there is to read, like, how have they not all read these books?
Right. It's not like they just like, oh, last night we binged Netflix, so we didn't get a chance to get to the book. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to do at night,
Jodi,
obviously.
did they read it in the book? Did they read the book in the book? It's very meta. I don't think they did.
I think so.
I don't think they did either.
Yeah.
Which, to your point, Heather, is a little bit of a head scratcher moment. Like, why wouldn't they do that?
Why wouldn't they? Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just like kind of sitting there. I'm like, how is she not reading the book?
But maybe that'll come to play in
especially,
future episodes.
Especially Roger and Brianna, they had it for a long time.
Right.
They brought it with them.
Enough to thought that to bring it. Exactly.
Right.
Before we go through the stones, let's just like thumb through.
See what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the stones. I do think that they are going to show up again. I think it's going to be like whether it's the final episode or the one right before it, we're going to see some sort of scene at the stones. I don't know why that just popped in my head yesterday.
I also think there's going to be some part of the season that's in the future, because I feel like every season there's been something where you're expecting to like pick up where you left off, and then you're not, and you're like in a different time, and then they'll tie it back and they'll come back to where we are. But I do think there's going to be something like that, and it could be something with the stones.
Right.
So I just had like one of those little thunderbolts appear above my head. Can you put that in post-production?
Yeah. Light bulb.
Light bulb. we have to talk about something later then, Heather, if you know that reference. So the fan theory that I sent you guys the other day about how this is an infinity story.
Oh, the loop.
Right? It's an infinity loop. The poster for this season is the stones in the shape of an 8, which if you turn it horizontally is an infinity symbol.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
there are so many
good
theories right now around, like how much did Frank know about the time travel? That whole scene with, Jamie's ghost looking up at Claire, like, is he
or his his like astral projection?
I mean, but I do think we'll get answers on that. I really do.
Yeah.
I hope so. Could you imagine? If not,
No,
people will go nuts.
I can't.
But how do you answer that in the show without stepping on Diana's toes? Like I do wonder.
It's fine.
I do trust them. I do trust them because they were in conversations with her.
Yeah.
So I trust that they're going to do it appropriately without stepping on her toes. I just don't know, like, and we've talked about how is this series going to end in a way that makes you want to watch Blood of My Blood? And how is the end of this going to ensure that fans go back and read Diana's last book?
Yeah.
I think they know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
And even if they don't, and we have little like pieces that we don't like, we're still there,
Oh yeah, we're still gonna love it either way.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to the blue light special.
So
and
I've been waiting for so long to talk about my faith theory before we get to the blue light, but it's like kind of related. So I was thinking about the whole thing with, Fanny and Jane being their grandchildren. It just seems like it's being presented to us like so easily, so neatly, like here it is. And even in this episode, right, you've got Claire, like maybe Master Raymond uses like, blue light and saved her. And that's why he's asking for forgiveness because he took her away, which is definitely plausible. I mean, they're thinking about this as something that could have happened based on what happened in this episode. But it doesn't explain how Fanny would know the song, right? Like who taught her that song? Like who raised Jane and Fanny, or that Faith, right? Let's just call her that Faith.
Right. And who raised Faith, not Jane and Fanny, like because Faith raised Jane and Fanny.
Faith.
But who raised Faith?
But which Faith is this? Like, is it their deceased Faith that they, or somebody else?
Let's call Jamie and Claire's baby Faith. Baby Faith.
So other Faith, right, is basically, we don't know if it's the same person. We think it could be. But I think, now, I've watched Blood of My Blood a couple of times. There's a scene where Henry, Claire's father, thinks that Julia, her mother, is dead, and he seeks comfort with a whore. Mm-hmm. And he has sex with her and he sings the song in her presence. Now they show her looking really like so when Julia and Henry get back together, they show her, it's a weird scene, but they show her like they're down by a river, like making their plans to escape. And she sees them and she's upset because now she knows that, his wife is back. And so she's got no chance with him. What if she got pregnant when she was with him and she had the baby and she knows the song and she could sing the song? So Claire would have like a half sibling out there.
Which would make sense, like why they kind of sort of look like her.
Yeah. And then it could tie into why people would want to watch Blood of My Blood. Like that could be like a storyline that kind of continues. I don't know.
I think at this point, anything is possible.
And I agree with you. I think that they're presenting it neatly, like you said, but this is Outlander. Like there's going to be some twist that we're not going to see coming. And we just don't know what that's going to be. And I'm waiting to see how they present it.
Yeah.
Are they going to continue? Like, are we going to end this series with it really being their Faith, baby Faith, that raised Jane and Fanny?
Yeah. I just don't see the
but who raised her and where and when?
Yeah. Right. I just don't see baby Faith being the mother of Francis and Jane just based on the age.
Right.
It just doesn't add up.
Yeah. And honestly, I hear a song for the first time. I'm not remembering it. So
exactly.
Unless it's super catchy and Bruno Mars wrote it, But so let's go to Agnes Whitaker coming, seeking help, runs for help. Susanna is pregnant, and they determine that it's twins, and a little baby boy is born, and everything seems fine. And then out comes the second baby, feet first, and a daughter, and appears to be stillborn. And so Claire starts to work on her, and everyone's saying no, including Jamie, like, Claire, stop, call it. It's over. And then along comes this pulsating through the veins and this blue light. And yeah.
And her carotid artery. I don't know.
Things are throbbing. And next thing you know, the baby wakes up and everyone's happy. And so Claire seems to be freaking out a little bit and explains this to Jamie afterwards and says, this felt weird. This reminded me of this whole Master Raymond part and brought me back to baby Faith. So I know that this has always been talked about. I knew as soon as she had the wrap on her head, that I was watching her hair during the whole birth scene and watching this one strip of white. And I wanted to see if it changed then. And then when she started to unwrap it, I was like, here we go. We're going to notice the hair, because I've heard about this theory and everyone's talked about it.
It makes me appreciate like the white stripe that I'm getting down here. I'm like, I will come into my full power when my hair turns white.
Right. Like, why did I go get my roots done yesterday if I'm going to have more power?
You go.
I just, so yeah, there's a lot to take in here. And then I'm like, first of all, like, this is a ridiculous storyline, but then again, we're all on board because we're time traveling and things happen. And so, yeah, it goes with the story of Outlander.
Yeah. What I find tough about, Outlander does so many things well. They do huge battle scenes. They do extras. They do costuming. They, make entire villages, entire towns. They do so many great things. Graphics is not their strong suit. We didn't talk about the graphics of the bear last week.
Oh, we did. We talked about it.
Yeah. Did we talk about the graphics of the bear?
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about it afterwards.
Oh, we might have done it offline.
I think we did it. I think we did it post.
You're right.
And then so like, what was it? When Claire was not dying, but when she was fevered and they cut off her hair, and she had some kind of dream or some kind of vision, those graphics were lacking. And so like when they do these graphics, unfortunately, they don't do them so well. And I feel like it doesn't allow you to suspend disbelief in the way that they want you to.
Yeah. I also was watching Claire, and after the baby comes back, she kind of turns away and she's looking out the window and she's kind of like hunched over a little bit. And I'm thinking, was that exhausting for her? Was it that she had so much flooding of what happened to her with Faith? Like, was it emotionally traumatic? Like, are we ever going to find out? But I was wondering, was that an exhausting process for her with that blue light to bring the baby back?
Well, it made it seem like it was.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed to, I mean, without saying it, she looked a little depleted. Like she had given something of herself.
Right. She was hunched over.
Right.
Yes.
Well, it also, the scene, we talked about Malva Christie before. The scene also reminded me of when Claire tried to save Malva Christie's baby. And she didn't really try to resuscitate Faith because she also didn't necessarily have the skills to do so, because that was pre her becoming
a surgeon.
Yeah. So she didn't have those types of like resuscitation skills, not necessarily.
I mean, she was a combat nurse.
She was a combat nurse, but I don't know how much they used CPR back then. I'm putting my nursing student hat on.
With Faith, it was also so long. We don't know what the time frame was because she was not conscious when she had Faith.
Right, that's true.
She woke up and it could have been hours later.
Right, but she tried to resuscitate Malva's baby, and so her trying to resuscitate this baby really reminded me of that. So I think it's probably a combination of all of the memories flooding back, the traumatic memories flooding back, and her having given a piece of herself to the child so that it could live.
Absolutely. But it made me think, again, it's like this blue light, not that we can't learn about her power, but it's like, what does she need this power for? And I keep thinking, like, Jamie keeps reading in this book, like, that he's going to die on King's Mountain. And it's like, all things are pointing to the fact that Claire could potentially bring him back to life, right? I mean,
right. And again, they're setting that up like, dude.
I think,
right. But is that really where they're going? I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Right. Or if they stick to it, I mean,
exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
They could change it up a little bit. I just, I'm not, I mean, all of it seems very nice. The fact that she's like powerful. I just wonder if she's going to be able to use it when she needs it. That's all.
But I mean, think about what this means. Like, I mean, just from like it's like, who has the power to bring people back from the dead? God, right? I mean, like that you're talking about like this lineage of like, who, what is Claire? Like, who is Claire? What? I mean, if she has that power, she's the most powerful person on this show.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like more, I mean,
Right. Well, because it goes back to scenes like, oh God, like I think about Myrta dying. Jamie brings Myrta to Claire and he's long gone. And he's like, you're going to bring him back. And Claire's like, I don't have that kind of power.
Right.
Not yet.
I do love the way that Jamie always believes Claire in that sense. Like even from the very beginning when she said, okay, well, I'm going to tell you everything. And he's like, and they sat for hours in the forest on that log, talking about.
Please don't tell me you're a witch. She's like, no, I'm just from the future.
But then he's like, it would have been easier if you were a witch.
You're a witch. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see where this is going to go. And like, why was it that time that it worked,
Yeah. Well, she's come into her path. I mean, like that prophecy about her hair, right?
Right.
Like when her hair, she had to get to a certain point in her life, I guess, to harness her true power.
Right. Right.
Or her full power, I should say.
Right.
Like, I think it's going to get stronger. I mean, her hair had white in it, but I think her hair is going to go completely white, right? Like,
it looks that way.
Yeah. But Julie, in the books, I'm going to be very vague. Aren't there other characters that have the blue light? Am I like
Mr. Raymond's?
Other than him, am I like imagining that I might be making it up in my head? I'm
going to say that I would think that Mandy has those powers because they make her seem like she could communicate with Jemmy. Like when they were like, when she was like, find daddy, like in your head, like Mandy's got some serious powers. And I don't know if that comes from like, she's got lineage from, I mean, Roger's a descendant of Galus.
She's got double traveler.
She's got energy. Like Galus in her lineage and also Claire.
Right.
So you've got like, she actually might be the most powerful person in the
Mandy
in this whole Outlander universe.
Yeah.
And is she the 200-year-old baby?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if you're thinking about the Fraser prophecy, like there's something about a baby that is going to matter to something, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like, is Diana going to tie this back to somehow Scotland and the Jacobite Revolution? I don't know.
When we first met Master Raymond, when he first in the shop, right? Claire goes in. He's very comfortable with her right away, almost as if he knew she was coming.
And he calls her Madonna. Calls her like, which is
like
mother.
Right. Because he says your light is blue, like the light of the Madonna.
Yeah.
So
he calls her Madonna before he tells her about the blue light.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's seen it on her before, which is what inspires him to call her that.
Yeah. Do you notice that she does wear blue a lot? Yeah. Like the whole time, even the outfit that she went back to go find Jamie after 20 years. That was
the bat suit.
I love that scene when she's making it with her sewing machine.
I know.
Right. I would never be able to do that for myself.
I made it out of waterproof material.
This woman's a surgeon. She could have bought something or had it made.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So it does look like all things are pointing towards a spinoff with Lord John Grey. And I feel like maybe that's why we saw a little more of Percy Beecham, or who knows? I mean, but he's not really young, to go and have like a full length spinoff. He's going to need other characters around him to make that worthy of their time.
I read a few of the Lord John novellas. There's a lot of content around his family.
Yeah.
You could have a whole series about it. I mean, it would maybe go back in time. Like maybe
Yes,
it wouldn't
it would
start
have
in
to.
today. A lot of it is in England and in the past, but there's a lot there.
Yeah,
And
Hal's wife Minnie is great.
yeah, we also didn't talk about it, but William finds out Ardsmere. What?
Yeah, that was. I was
Yes.
like, ooh, okay, nothing,
Right.
nothing unintentional this season for sure.
Right,
So
right.
why did they mention that?
Right.
Well-
Like I'm about to go confront him, and talk to him. And is that where you met Jamie and what happened there? And
Mhm.
Yes. What's going through his mind?
When I was thinking about the fact that like Jamie's going to die on this mountain and maybe Claire's going to bring him back to life, I was thinking like Jamie never like, right, he escapes everything. What would he put himself in the line of fire for? I feel like he might die for William. And then William could really see that Jamie's always really loved him. I mean, even though William doesn't verbalize it, like he's so angry. And it's like, is he angry because he was lied to? Is he angry because he thought his father didn't want him? Is he like, what is it? And I think that Jamie's going to prove his love for William. That's just, I don't know.
Well, William's always been angry. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
Like even as a little kid when they went to go
Mhm.
and he met Jamie, what was he like 11 or something? He was kind of
Yeah,
When they
obnoxious,
came,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, his mother died, and then his
yeah,
was sick.
stepmother dies,
yeah.
and his dad is sick, so he thinks he's going to lose his dad.
All right.
Yeah.
So upcoming episode looks like we've got Cunningham appearing to threaten Claire and say, "Oh, you're alone a lot."
Yeah, that was weird. That was
Well,
weird.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, that
Yeah.
they're about to. I mean, he's the bad guy this season. We said that a
Right.
while ago.
Well,
Yeah.
and there's the scene from the trailer of Claire and Brianna with their rifles on the front porch. So maybe we get that this upcoming episode.
I'd love to see a little more of like Ian save the day. Like I love when like Ian
Kind of
like
missing him
kinda-
this episode.
Ian to the rescue. I
Yeah.
guess they're just like enjoying time with their new baby. Maybe
Right.
that's why we didn't see them this
And-
week.
Right.
By the way, the scene of Susanna giving birth reminded me of why we never saw a birth scene with young Ian and Rachel.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they wanted to
Back to
do
back.
like,
Because they needed this
Funny.
birth scene.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know. No one
Right.
told
That
me.
does make more
Right.
sense, actually. It's like that would be a lot of birthing, in
A lot of pushing.
A
Right.
lot of pushing back to back.
we only have 8 episodes, not 10 episodes.
Oh my
Jeez.
God, we only have
Oh, no, we
7
have
left.
10.
Is it 10?
No, it's
Why
10.
did I think it was 8?
It's
Okay.
10, 10 episodes total.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but we only have 7 more.
Yeah, 7 more.
Which
A lot to get through in 7 episodes.
a ton.
I
get
have to
through it.
look. Are we looking at a longer episode for the last one?
I would hope so. Maybe it's feature length.
Please, I hope so.
Or maybe the last 2 episodes, I would hope, are longer.
Yeah.
They've done feature length episodes before. I think the first episode of season 6
Yeah, one of them was really, yes.
was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
lots more to get to.
that's for
This was a
sure.
great- I will say
More
though,
to come.
last week I was like, oh, this is my favorite episode this season so far. And then I felt the same way after
This was
watching
a
this
great
episode. This
episode.
episode was like a very classic Outlander episode with Jamie's temper and then
Yeah.
them having sex and
Yeah.
then like the power. And like, I feel like all of the storylines were kind of moved forward.
And they flowed. It wasn't choppy again. I'm
Yes,
loving
yeah.
the fact because there have been seasons where I'm like, oh, these are way too choppy. And like I feel like everything's flowing nicely and leading us in a good path.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us and talking about this episode. If you have any thoughts, please comment below. And just remember, if you go to an escape room party, bring Jamie Fraser on your
Yeah.
team. He'll get you out of the room in no time.
100%.